This is ABC 7 News at 6.
As we approach 1 year since the Lewiston mass shooting, a number of memorials and remembrance ceremonies are being held across the area. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall.
And I'm Beth Jones. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard attended one of those ceremonies held at the University of Southern Maine's Lewiston-Auburn campus.
1 year ago, Lewiston was struck by an unimaginable act of violence.
It felt really important to honor those lives lost and to come together as a community to know that we're here to support each other.
Nettie Provost is the director of the University of Southern Maine's Lewiston-Auburn campus. On Tuesday, they held a remembrance ceremony to honor those lost in last year's mass shooting. Riley Worth, a grad student at UMS's public policy program, spoke at the event and shared his personal experience about what he says is being 2 handshakes away from victims of the shooting.
I don't think we should shame or belittle or look down upon a lot of the people across Maine and the country who have moved on. You know, there's a lot going on in this world. It's busy, a hectic election season, but I think if we can each find a way, find a time, find a place to come together maybe at an event like this and remember those we lost, but also remember the families of those who lost someone and how they're suffering.
Provost adds the USM community was also deeply affected the night of the tragedy, with one of the faculty members being killed in the shooting and many medical students working in the area hospitals during the events.
So for them, this was a very live experience. Some of them are CNAs and other medical professionals in local hospitals. And so they saw not only the impact on the community, but on the healthcare professions and our local hospitals dealing with a mass shooting tragedy.
One project the USM community highlighted during Tuesday's event was their Kindness Rock project, which allows anyone to decorate, take, and leave rocks with supportive messages.
So getting ready and setting up the memorial table, one of our work study students, Rama, very kindly decorated a rock for each victim to add to our Kindness Rocks project.
In Lewiston, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Governor Janet Mills ordered flags be lowered to honor and remember the victims and survivors of the Lewiston mass shooting. This Friday will mark 1 year since the shootings at Just-in-Time Recreation and Schmenge's Bar and Grill in Lewiston. 18 people died and many were injured. Governor Mills has directed all United States and Maine flags be lowered to half-staff on Friday. The governor issued a statement saying, quote, "As we mourn and pay tribute to the loved ones lost 1 year ago, as we support those who were injured, and as we honored all of those who have been affected by the Lewiston tragedy, we also remember our strength as a community, as a state, and as Maine people. As we continue down the long and difficult road to recovery, let us remind ourselves that we are not alone, that we are Lewiston strong, and that we will continue to heal together."
In other news tonight, in Freedom this morning, 2 people were found dead and 2 others were rushed to a local hospital as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. Our Doug Banks has the details.
At 555 Belfast Road in Freedom Tuesday morning, the Freedom Fire Department was called for a propane leak.
Attention Freedom Fire attendants, your request to respond to 555 Belfast Road in Freedom for a propane leak. 4 people inside. Currently working on getting them outside.
A total of 5 individuals were involved in a carbon monoxide incident. According to the town's fire chief, Jim Waterman, 2 people were found dead inside the home. 2 were rushed to a local hospital, and 1 was uninjured. When Freedom's first assistant fire chief entered the home, he found a propane wall mount gas boiler that was used to heat the home with the elbow on its exhaust pipe detached, causing carbon monoxide to enter the home. He says he's unsure at this time whether it was removed unintentionally or on purpose. He says he found that elbow piece sitting on the pipe that leads outside, and it remains unclear how that happened. Chief Waterman says no detectors were going off, and carbon monoxide levels were at 40 parts per million. Back in May, 555 Belfast Road was the subject of an illegal marijuana grow operation bust. According to the Waldo County Sheriff's Office, deputies discovered and dismantled more than 1,900 live marijuana plants. No arrests were made at the time, and it's unknown whether there's a connection with the individuals involved in both May and Tuesday's incident. Once more information becomes available, this story will be updated on our website, foxbangor.com. In Freedom, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine State Police continue to investigate a missing Aroostook County teenager. Stephanie Dameron, who is now 14, was last seen walking out of her house and into the woods on the West Road in New Sweden on September 23rd. State Police began investigating the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. The FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team also joined in, but Stephanie is still missing. A Maine State Police spokesperson says investigations have conducted many interviews and also followed up on leads in Maine, nationally and in Canada. Stephanie is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall with green eyes and shoulder-length brown hair. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeve blue shirt, and black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. Anyone with information is asked to call the Maine State Police Barracks in Holton at 1-800-924-2261.
On November 5th, one of the ballot questions seeks to change a major symbol representing the state, our flag. It's been a hotly debated topic since the bill was first submitted to the legislature. One concern rests in how much it will cost to replace the flag should that referendum pass. While all the current flags flying at state offices and other owned buildings would need to be replaced, according to the Maine Office of Fiscal and Program Review, there won't be any additional cost to taxpayers. They said in a statement, quote, "This assumes that the changeover would occur gradually and the costs will be similar to those that would occur from the normal replacement of existing flags as they become worn and frayed," end quote. The office went on to say that state agencies already budget for buying flags, so the costs would fall under that budget item.
Well, among the list of referendum questions this election, Clinton residents are being asked to approve over $1 million in borrowed funds for a brand new fire station, something town officials and members of the department say is long overdue. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
As you can see, there's not a lot going on for space.
The Clinton Fire Department says they have outgrown their old and cramped station.
The way we have it now, there's no room to walk across the front by the garage doors, and then in the back with our storage and equipment space, it's just very tight quarters. So.
Members of the department say they need more space for equipment and vehicles to handle the volume of calls coming in.
We were doing like 400 calls a year when I first started, and now we're up over 800 calls a year. So we have doubled like all of our stuff, and it's just going to keep getting busier.
According to the town manager, Senator Susan Collins has already secured $2 million through federal funding to put towards a new station. But this election, they need residents to approve an additional $1.9 million to make that a reality.
It would not only put us in a better spot now, it would also be able to see the town grow as it continues to grow and need more services.
Some residents we spoke with say they're concerned about the slight increase this could have on their taxes, but others say they're all for it.
It's a good thing with the grant that we got to go with it and stuff. I think it's going to be reasonable for the town.
They deserve to need more money. I mean, for all the stuff that they do, they're constantly responding, constantly bringing people to fair, Waterville, they do a lot for this town.
If the town votes yes, they plan to build a station that is twice the square footage on land they own right by the town office, with a goal to break ground this April. In Clinton, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
So one of many things that we'll be keeping an eye on this election season for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things on the ticket this year that people want to keep a close eye on, and those being just one of them.
I mean, we have numerous, ballot referendum questions that are important and have a lot of implications for Maine people, but then we have some really important local referendums going on too. Yeah,
all across the state.
A lot going on. All right, well, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast now.
All right, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Look what we did today. A south wind kicked in throughout the area, gave us much warmer temperatures. And here, look at the highs, near 70 here in Bangor today, 65 in Millinocket. We'll take it, but overall, cooler temperatures are on the way for us. This thing is on. Lots of clear skies across the state today, and also for tomorrow, probably into Thursday and Friday as well. As most of this is going to go that way, we are in good shape into the weekend. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low temperatures down near 50. Your full forecast is coming up.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, millions across the nation have already cast their ballots with early voting.
And we'll take a look at the New Herman Hawks esports team. That story and much more just ahead.
There's no question this year reproductive rights, reproductive freedom is on the ballot. Mary, what was your reaction the day you heard about the Dobbs decision?
I never thought we would be back here. I just never did.
Mom, I mean, I remember I grew up with you telling me I had the choice to do what I wanted with my body.
There's no room in a doctor's office for the patient, the doctor, and the government. This is one of the reasons I want to go back, because there's a lot of work left to be done.
Make Roe v. Wade the law of the land.
You have my word. I'm Angus King, and I approve this message.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You're gripping a pumpkin spice latte, watching the home game on a Friday night. Earlier, you took the kids apple picking and almost made it through the corn maze. It's that time of year. Shorter days, cooler nights. Valley Home Services believes the comfort and warmth of home means more on nights like these. Comfort and warmth that comes from Fujitsu heat pumps. Valley Home Services has the most reliable choices for heating and cooling your home or business. Ditch the worry of heating bills and power outages all season long with Valley Home Services. Go ahead, embrace the comfort.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Fishing regulators are delaying a plan for stricter rules amid concerns about a decline in baby lobsters in the warming waters off New England. The regulators are looking to institute a new rule that establishes a larger minimum size for the lobsters they trap. The change is only 1/16 of an inch, but regulators have said it will help preserve the lobster population, as many smaller lobsters will need to be tossed back into the ocean. Some fishermen, though, have argued the change is unnecessary and will be disruptive to one of the country's most lucrative seafood industries when it is already stressed by those warming waters, as well as surging expenses and new rules instituted to protect right whales. They've argued for the new rules to be delayed or scrapped entirely. The Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission voted Monday to push back the implementation of the change from January 1st to July 1st of 2025.
In other news, there's a new sports club at Herman High School that's attracting competitors of all ages and skill levels. Our Jody Hersey has more.
You're welcome. Just inside the library of Herman High School sits the esports lab, where you'll find freshmen and sophomore students competing in video games like Mario Kart, Rocket League, and Apex Legends.
I joined it because I wanted an after-school activity other than using the weight room and working out and stuff.
Last year, life science teacher Nicholas Stahl started the esports club just to gauge the interest of students. When word got out at the beginning of this school year about the club, he was inundated with kids interested in joining.
I'm not poaching players from football, baseball, soccer, field hockey. Like, this is a kind of a different demographic. These are kids that might not have gotten that team experience, those leadership opportunities. This gives them an opportunity to access all that stuff.
The Herman Esports Club has two leagues. One is Play Versus, which is an MPA-affiliated in-state league, where Herman students compete against other schools from Fort Kent all the way to Portland. The other league is the High School Esports League, or HSEL, which is more widely spread and includes teams from schools on the West Coast.
But they set the menu for which games can be played.
Chloe Arce is part of Herman's Mario Kart esports team.
Since esports is sort of becoming more of a big thing, you can actually get into colleges and such with scholarships. But personally, I'm just doing it for fun.
Esports may look like just fun and games, but Mr. Stahl says it's also a booming industry that can offer students a bright future.
you know, a kid sitting here in the library daydreaming about working in the gaming industry, that's a bigger opportunity than I think people give it credit for.
In Herman, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Looking to some national headlines now. Exactly 2 weeks to go in the race for the White House, and whether by mail or in person, early voting is well underway nationwide. Millions of people have already cast their ballots. ABC's Christiane Cordiero has the latest on the presidential campaign trail.
It's the first day of early in-person voting in battleground Wisconsin, where long lines at a high-profile campaign stop show what's at stake. Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz joined by former President Barack Obama to bolster support for the top of the ticket.
Our team is running like everything is on the line, because everything is on the line.
Vice President Harris is off the campaign trail today, instead sitting down for 2 television interviews. Former President Trump meeting with Latino voters at his Miami resort, criticizing Harris for not campaigning today before reverting to his recent personal attacks about her intelligence.
I think she's grossly incompetent. And I don't want to be nice about it because we can't take a chance. Nobody knows who she is. You say Harris. Her name is Harris. Who the hell is Harris?
Tonight, Trump rallying in Greensboro, North Carolina, where early voting is well underway. Nationwide, as of Monday, more than 17 million people have already cast their ballots.
Of course, we won't know for another couple of weeks who people actually voted for, but we are seeing Republicans eating into the early voting advantage that Democrats had 4 years early.
And today, Bruce Springsteen announced plans to hold a Get Out the Vote concert on Thursday in Atlanta. Springsteen has endorsed Harris. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, a local car dealership is helping some furry friends find their forever homes.
And in sports, Maine hockey is on a roll to start the year, and they open up Hockey East play later this week. We'll have that story after the break.
Did you know that 50% of the air you breathe in your home is air that comes from Hafford Basement Systems? All things basementy. A wet, damp basement is a real problem. It can damage your valuables, worsen asthma and allergies, and affect indoor air quality. We'll transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the health of your entire home. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basementy.
I've been living in my car for the last couple of weeks, trying to make ends meet, getting hotel rooms. This is the hotel where they were giving illegal immigrants free rooms. But yet, I had to pay $100 just to find some peace and comfort. Jared Golden does not have the proper focus on Mainers or American citizens. You want to take care of the people who have been there for you all the time, not take care of the people who just got here. I just feel as though Jared Golden should put Mainers first.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reactions, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC 7. Sports Blitz is brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 30 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you will find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in Bangor, located in the Penobscot Plaza, providing custom ink by licensed artists for more than 20 years.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the ice up at Alfond Arena. 6th-ranked Maine men's hockey coming off of a sweep of a tough Quinnipiac team at home, and now they take their talents on the road for the first time this season, this weekend. The Black Bears 4-0, counting an exhibition win over Army, will head to Northeastern for their first road trip of the year and their first Hockey East series of the year. The Huskies ended the season hot last year, taking down the Black Bears twice in 3 games. They also beat BU twice late in the year, and Maine knows they have a tough matchup ahead of them at a place that they haven't won in 12 seasons.
It hasn't been good enough, whether it's been penalty kill, power play, goaltending, it's something, and that's the game of hockey. So we're going to have to go down there on the road in hockey. So you can't, one of those aspects of the game can't be terrible.
They're a great team and they play really well in their building. Obviously, they've had our number there for a number of years. So for us, it's just about going down there and playing simple, playing our brand of hockey, keeping the game in front of us.
Maine won both their games against then 7th-ranked Quinnipiac by 1 goal this weekend, including an overtime thriller. It's their first top 10 sweep since 2019. After recording 5 points on 5 assists over the weekend, Maine alternate captain Harrison Scott was named Hockey East Player of the Week. He assisted on the game winners in both nights and the game tying goal on Saturday as well, but to him, it was just another week.
Nothing really, it just kind of keep doing, for me, it's just like keep doing what I'm doing and, just trusting the process and, good things like this weekend happen just because of that.
All right, wishing them luck this weekend. Let's go to the basketball court now. After a disappointing Red Sox season and a let's not talk about it start to the Pat season, the Celtics are here to save us. Boston opens the 2024-25 campaign as defending NBA champs in just about an hour. The Celtics coming off of a historic title season, winning 80 of their 100 games played, including playoffs. They bring back basically everyone this year, although Kristaps Porzingis won't play to begin the season because of the leg injury suffered during the NBA Finals. Boston is, again, the favorite to win the NBA title. Here is what big man Al Horford had to say during the preseason about the biggest test this time around.
It's not going to be probably the same way that it was. We have to be able to find a new way. There is a different level that we're facing now. So I just think us understanding that we have to find our way to get back to that position. And for us, it's really taking it a step at a time.
Boston takes on the Knicks in about an hour. The ring ceremony and banner raising is at 7 p.m. Tip-off scheduled for 7:30. We'll have those highlights later tonight. That is all the time we have for sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you very much. Look at these high temperatures today. Average high temperatures are in the 50s. We didn't do that today. High temperature near 70 today here in Bangor. Also Bar Harbor, 65 Millinocket. We will take it. But overall, the atmosphere is cooling down, and we have some much cooler temperatures are on the way. But first, look at all the heat across the west right now. 80s in the plains again. But winter is right there, and that's going to make a run for us later this week, as we do have cooler temperatures on the way. In fact, I'll run this not so much today or tomorrow, but more so for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The much cooler stuff is on the way, as we're going to have high temperatures next week, mostly in the 40s around here. So it's going to get cooler once again. You knew it was coming, right? So these days had to end at some point. It's going to end most likely over the weekend, but more so Monday to Tuesday. Okay, so here is the long-range outlook now for winter. So December, January, February. This is your tax dollars at work saying here you are, and most likely above average temperatures for us across our neck of the woods. Of course, we will see. Now, precipitation-wise, also near average precip. So that could mean some rain, some snow, we'll see. But overall, kind of a near average winter for December, January, and February expected for our neck of the woods. Okay, so here's the drought monitor. Of course, it's been dry across the plains and the west and south for sure. Level 1 drought and 2 across much of the country right now, including our area, meaning we could use some rain and or snow. And there's a little bit of rain in our forecast, but not much at all. Not tonight at all. Lots of clear skies out there now. That will stay that way tonight, overall throughout the day tomorrow as well. In fact, really our next meaningful chance for rain may not be until Saturday or Sunday, with just some sprinkles in the forecast then, as most of this is going to go that way. But overall, the trend is changing just a bit. This jet stream here is kind of sinking south just a bit too, and that could mean later next week some more wet systems across our region. Then until then, though, I'm going to run this through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, we could get a couple sprinkles in here later Saturday and Sunday. Other than that, though, we are dry across our area. Our forecast then tonight, though, is lots of clouds out there now. Some dense fog is likely after midnight. Look for low temperatures down near 50 with a south breeze around 5. For tomorrow, all right, partly cloudy and breezy tomorrow. Highs reaching for 70. We might do it, but this is kind of the last real nice day across our region for a bit. That south wind could gust near 25 tomorrow, making waves on the lakes tomorrow for sure. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows a change is on the way. So tomorrow, 70, partly cloudy. Thursday, 61, partly cloudy. Friday, mostly sunny, 56. You get the trend here, right? There's Saturday, a couple of sprinkles in the air, not a big deal. And that is a high temperature in the upper 40s next week, Sunday into Monday.
Gonna have polar opposites there.
I know, it's going to
70
cool
on one
right
end,
off.
48 on the other.
Oh my goodness, going to have to bust up the sweaters.
Indeed. Oh, I already had mine out. I got excited.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
My stepfather raised our family working at G.H. Bass, and we saw his jobs go overseas. Yeah, I worked in the paper mills and shoe shops, and those all closed. It pisses me off. See good jobs going overseas. Austin Terrio signed a pledge to protect tax breaks and loopholes for corporations that send jobs overseas. And he supports trade with China that hurts Maine lobstermen. Why would you give tax breaks to corporations that are sending jobs overseas? Austin Terrio is for his big donors. He's not for the working class, that's for sure.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're gripping a pumpkin spice latte, watching the home game on a Friday night. Earlier, you took the kids apple picking and almost made it through the corn maze. It's that time of year. Shorter days, cooler nights. Valley Home Services believes the comfort and warmth of home means more on nights like these. Comfort and warmth that comes from Fujitsu heat pumps. Valley Home Services has the most reliable choices for heating and cooling your home or business. Ditch the worry of heating bills and power outages all season long with Valley Home Services. Go ahead, embrace the comfort.
The insurance company wants nothing more than to deny your claim.
Deny.
Meet John.
Delay.
The adjuster. He sticks
Deny.
to the 3 Ds.
Delay. Deny. No. Devalue.
And if he does have to pay, it's often with a very tiny check.
At first I was going to delay, and then I thought, no. Denied.
They called the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Maybe we should settle this one.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. The law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Backed by popular demand, the Lucerne Inn in Dedham presents its amazing Sunday brunch. Join us every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a culinary experience like no other. Indulge in an exquisite selection of dishes, all while enjoying breathtaking views. Seating is limited, so reservations are recommended, but walk-ins are always welcome. The Lucerne Inn Sunday brunch, where great food meets a spectacular view. Call today to reserve your spot.
Quirk Subaru at Bangor has once again teamed up with Bangor Humane Society to help furry friends find their forever homes. As part of the annual event, adoption fees will be 50% off through Saturday. Quirk Subaru will also have a vehicle parked outside the Bangor Humane Society and in the Quirk Subaru showroom for residents to drop off and donate supplies for pets. Their advertising and marketing director says Jill Quirk says every little bit helps.
It is ready to be filled with all the pet goodies, blankets, food, toys, anything that anyone can bring to donate to the shelter.
Well, here's hoping they fill that car to the brim. All donations will go to caring for the animals at Bangor Humane Society. So, I mean, food, toys, blankets, all kinds of things. Yeah.
Everything. Can't have too much of it.
No, you can't. Right down to, I've heard that sometimes they have a need for laundry detergent because of all the bedding they have to wash. So there's so many things that you don't consider when you think about what goes into running an animal shelter or a rescue. It's so multi-layered.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks, from everyone here at ABC 7. Have a great rest of your night.
And for more of your local news, join us on Fox 22 News Tonight at 6:30.
14 days to go, and more Americans turn to David Muir and World News Tonight than any other newscast. The race, a dead heat. With so much at stake, turn to David Muir on election night and ABC's World News.
Work out, and all of a sudden, you and I are talking about vitamins.
I mean, she agreed to pay it all back. She wrote out the debt she owed me.
Good, very good. Then she should absolutely pay that back. But we are in a court. We're done. Goodbye.
Are you serious?
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I moved in November. I agreed to pay him rent for my living, and that included utilities.
She started paying rent, and then she got sick, so.
And when I got sick, I wasn't able to pay.
She just stopped responding to me.
It was harassment. He was like a Jekyll and Hyde.
So I didn't get the impression that she was going to pay me back at any time soon.
There was a moment where he was nice and I'd help you, and the next moment it was I hate you, get out of my house.
And I don't think she purposely took advantage of me, but she just didn't get a chance maybe to pay me back. I don't know if she was going to. I just felt like it was never going to happen.
Really understand who a person is before I start dating them and living with them.
I guess don't give people money for whatever reason.
I'm happy it's over.
Coming up, 2 people are dead and 2 more have been hospitalized from carbon monoxide poisoning in Freedom, Maine.
Plus, a historic number of voters have already cast their ballots in the 2024 election through early voting.
And the University of Southern Maine honors the victims of the Lewiston mass shooting in a remembrance ceremony. Those stories and much more just ahead.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
As we approach 1 year since the Lewiston mass shooting, a number of memorials and remembrance ceremonies are being held across the area. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall.
And I'm Beth Jones. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard attended one at the University of Southern Maine's Lewiston-Auburn campus.
1 year ago, Lewiston was struck by an unimaginable act of violence.
It felt really important to honor those lives lost and to come together as a community to know